With so many options of competition-ready firearms out there, what's to make their place among the rest of the herd? You've got everything out there. You've got 4.5, 5-inch barrels, you've got steel, you've got polymer, you've got tungsten-infused polymer. Well, how about you just make it cheap as shit? This is our first shots at the Canik TP9SFX. Let's get to work. Hey guys, Work here. Welcome back to Work the Trigger. So I recently picked up this. This is a Canik TP9SFX, Canik's entry into the competition-ready firearms. This particular one is pretty much pre-set up for production. It does have an optics cut though, and it comes with plates for pretty much every optic available. So you can run this extremely quickly in a carry optics division as well. Today we've just got it in its stock iron sight base form for our first shots. Let's go ahead and take some shots through it, and I'll let you know what I think. All right, first 4 shots are in, and it's nice. It's surprisingly smoothly recoiling, despite the large slide. These are built off of what most consider to be like a Walther design, based kind of off the old P99, with that large slide mass, which means a lot of reciprocating mass. The SFX handles it pretty well. It's definitely not as nice shooting as something like a Shadow 2, but I do have something to compare it to here pretty soon, which also has a large slide. We'll get to that more here in a minute. This does come with Warren tactical sights, the same sights that are on the TP9SF Elite, and these sights are some of the best stock sights that I've ever had a gun come with. I wouldn't mind if the rear notch was a little wider or the front post was a little bit narrower, but don't take that as a complaint, really. I mean, when a gun comes with this good of sights, it's just nitpicking at that point. The trigger on this is... It's amazing. It's amazing. The TP9 is known by those who aren't biased by brand name as being one of the top triggers in the striker file world. The SFX is no exception. Now, it does come with 3 magazines, 18 rounds plus extensions. So we're looking at 3 20-round magazines with this gun, which is really nice considering most of the other guns come with something more along the lines of 17. And if they do come with more, they only come with 2 mags. Let's take some more shots with this and I'll get a little bit into the shootability and the ergonomics. So one thing that I want to note about guns with the bigger slides, high reciprocating mass, they tend to settle really well. They snap a little bit more, but they settle well. The slide speed on the forward motion isn't quite as much, so they tend not to dip as much. Maybe it's just because those companies tend to tune their slides and their recoil springs a little bit better. Maybe it's that slide mass. I don't know. So the TP9, ergonomics-wise, the ergonomics are very much like the rest of the TP9. I called it generic at one point, and don't take that as like a major slight to it. Generic is better than bad by all means. It's just if you give this gun to me and you let me hold this gun, I'm not going to know this is a Canik. You hand me a P10, I'm going to know it's a P10. You hand me a Glock, I'm going to know it's a Glock. You hand me this, I'm not going to know what this gun is. It fits, it just doesn't feel super contoured. The stippling and grip texturing here feels very generic as well. It's not sharp, it's very rounded. You get a little bit of the gravel on the sides. It doesn't add a lot to be able to grip the gun. You're working pretty much all through strength with this one. The mag release is actually an extended mag release, which is very nice. You don't typically get extended mag releases in a gun of this price, and that mag release is swappable. Slide release only on the left-hand side. It is slightly extended backwards. You can't really get to it. It's kind of stuck up in there, but it is extremely easy to get to with your fingers when you're actually manipulating the firearm. You do get some decently nice front cocking serrations here. They are kind of far down, which I would like to see them a little bit more up, but they did port cut the slide as well. Reducing weight, I'm assuming, because it's definitely not for ports. This guy doesn't have those. The rear serrations, they're nice. I mean, they're sharp without being too sharp, but they are kind of close together, which gives you a little bit of friction in there. Let's take a couple of more shots and get to it. Okay, so that was our first mag through it. So far, enjoying the gun quite a bit. Let's go ahead and grab out the gun that I brought to compare this with, and we'll see what I think then. So the gun that I brought out to compare it with is another front runner in the buy to compete market, but there's a catch. It costs twice as much. The SIG P320 X5 Legion. Now this one is a tungsten infused polymer. This thing's got some weight to it. Very similar barrel length. It's a striker fire trigger, just like our Canik there. But again, this has that big slide, that slow recoil mass. And I want to feel what this feels like next to shooting that Canik. I will say that the magazine release on the Canik is easier to get to than the one on the Legion here. Let's get to work. Okay, so after shooting them, you can definitely feel where the weight of the Legion does benefit over this, as well as that tunability in the spring, since the Legion does send you 2 different springs to run. That being said, it's definitely not a doubling the price difference, and I bet you could get pretty close with this with swapping that spring out. So that's it, guys. That's our first look at the Canik TP9SFX, a super affordable, competition-ready firearm coming in for around $500. I've even seen them as low as $475, even during the pandemic. So if you're interested in getting into competition and you are super strapped for money, this is a definite gun that you should be taking a look at. Thanks again, guys. I hope this video helped out a little bit. If it did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. Down below, you're going to find a link to our website. That's workthetrigger.com. Over there, you're going to find affiliate codes, links to all the stuff that you find in our videos, and our merch. Remember, guys, I appreciate every one of you. And until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.